We always get excited about plant healthcare just because it's more fun to save a tree than take a tree down. But in this case in particular, it was a tree that was important to the community. People cared about the tree. That's why we were brought in.
Michael had called me for a second opinion. He was contacted by the city of Monona for a construction project that was really close to a very old oak tree. I'm guessing probably 150 years old, and it's a huge staple of this park. It's just a really beautiful tree.
I think the excitement is there because this tree is important to a lot of people, especially people that live right in the neighborhood, where there's a lot of folks that have lived there for a long time.
And some of the community was concerned about the construction that was going around this tree.
Daryl and I went when the park was under construction, and it was pretty clear that soil compaction was going to be the #1 issue.
Because they were using a lot of heavy equipment, loaders and things like that, heavy machinery, it can really compact soil.
I got there and there was some equipment a little too close to the tree. Not saying that they're bad or anything, because some people don't know any better.
And that creates a lot of problems for roots. Roots need oxygen to survive, and when there's soil compaction, there's a lot less available space for oxygen.
And so the clear primary problem was going to be the compaction of the soil.
The city of Monona accepted our proposal to help save this tree. We did a few things to this tree. We have a tool called the air spade, and we hook it up to a giant air compressor that's on wheels, and it shoots compressed air into the soil and it blows soil away. So the first thing we did is we wanted to expose the base of the tree where the root flare comes out into the soil. So we wanted to expose the base of the tree because there was a lot of soil piled up against the trunk.
The grade had changed so that a lot of gravel and stone had washed up against the trunk. So the first thing we did, we took the air spade in and blew that area out around the trunk. Probably a ring 4 feet in diameter around the trunk we blew out. And that was just to remove a lot of that kind of foreign material. There's a lot of stone, a lot of gravel, even bits of blacktop and asphalt that had washed down in there. So we removed all that, used the air spade to kind of shape the grade a little bit so that runoff would not continue to pile on the trunk and hopefully get a little bit diverted.
And then the second thing we did is we did some vertical mulching.
Vertical mulching, you stick the air spade tool straight into the ground, and you'd be shocked when you start blowing that high compressed air into the ground. It'll pick you up. It breaks up that soil compaction, and the whole ground around you is moving, and that's when you know you're breaking up that overly compacted soil.
We created some more airspace for oxygen to get in, and then by filling in that airspace again with our compost, we're basically kind of giving it an extra nutrient boost and giving those roots just a leg up, so we get extra oxygen and they get extra nutrients from the compost that we put in.
Once the vertical mulching was done and the compost was backfilled, then we did put on a bit of a mulch ring, and after that we did come and apply a growth regulator. The goal there is to promote root growth, fine root growth. The growth regulator slows down canopy growth, which isn't necessary in this situation, but when that canopy growth is slowed down, that growth that would otherwise go into the tips of the branches is reallocated into the roots. So what we really wanted to do was just get this tree producing as many and as much fine roots as we could, help it bounce back from kind of the shock of construction.
I was excited, definitely. It's cool to use an air spade. It's a fun tool to use, and it was interesting because it's a new thing for me as far as vertical mulching goes. When you're filling in those spaces that you make with high nutrient soil or compost, it's a cool thing to do.
Yeah, this kind of project is a really fun, rewarding project. Same with planting trees also. It's really fun and it's rewarding because you're doing something for a legacy. You're not just doing it for now in the present, you're doing it for the future. And it kind of makes you feel good what you did to this tree, and justified the hard work. It was a long day with three people working all day. So it was a long day and it's hard work, but it's definitely rewarding.
So the fact that, there was a want and a need for us to come in and people really cared about it, that made it important. But just like any tree, we're excited to do, plant healthcare services to try to improve health and let it keep living for that much longer. This is an old oak, and with this service and this help that it's gotten, it should be in there for a lot longer.
We're doing the work that aligns with our philosophy, and I think that that's very valuable, and I'm hoping that we can continue to do more jobs like that. So hopefully this video and these projects create more awareness in the community and the surrounding area, and we can get more tree care in.